Hey, Jason Rice here. I'm going to do another daily quick tip essentially on what struggles our dealerships are going through. I did put a video out, a quick tip today. It's about a minute video, minute and a half, about tracking trade-ins over purchases. But one of the things I wanted to do on this live video is to or obviously be recorded later, but to go over how to actually go get more trades and how to increase your taking a retail exit strategy on trade-ins instead of waiting for doing a wholesale exit strategy on a car. So one of the examples is, when we used to appraise cars before we had any tool like a vAuto or anything, I would always do mentally what I could retail it for, but we'd always look at books because that was our exit strategy, wholesaling the car. What can I book this car out and buy it for if I had to wholesale out of it? But now most cars obviously that we're out purchasing in or appraising, we should be looking at a retail exit strategy. And what I mean by that is when we did go to the lane to buy a car, when we do go to the lane to buy a car, we come up with put our hands down number, right? We go to the lane saying I want to bid up to 12 grand on this car, and if it gets higher than that, I'm going to put my hand down, and that would be our final number going to the auction and to the lane on that car. But when we appraise a car, and especially working to deal with a customer, we tend to start with a lower number and go back and forth till the number doesn't make sense anymore. And I'd rather you go in on a trade, not necessarily your first purchase, but go in with a put my hand down number on this trade, knowing exactly what I'm letting the customer walk out on. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to pencil that deal there. Again, maybe you were thinking 10, but you'd go up to 12. You're not penciling a deal at 12. No different than the auction. You're thinking I'm going to put my hand down at the lane at 10. Well, the auction typically isn't going to start at 12, or you're going to put your hand down. Your hand down number is 12. You're not going at the lane. The auctioneer's not starting at 12. They're going to start at 9 and 10 and 11, and maybe you get it for 11.5, and you got a deal on it, but you're going to put your hand down at 12. Same with the penciling a deal. You're not going to pencil this deal at your put your hand down number, but come up with that number that you'd be willing to let the customer leave, and then desk your deal accordingly. If you want to put your hand down number, let the customer walk at 12, maybe you pencil at 10. But let me show you how you do a retail exit strategy. A lot of times I look at a dealership's appraisals, and they're going in at every appraisal making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 profit on their appraisal. Looking at something like a vAuto, they'll have a profit margin of $2,000 or $1,500. And to me, you're going into that appraisal like a hope mode. I'd like to trade for this car and make $1,500 or $2,000. And that's where maybe a lot of dealerships are missing trades. And I know not many managers tell me they'll miss a deal on a trade, but I'll show you some examples if you'd like. But if you're going in or going to the auction and coming home empty-handed and not able to come back with some of these cars for what they're going for. So instead of going into a trade at hope mode, trying to make $1,500 or $2,000, back yourself into it in a retail strategy saying, what's the minimum amount of profit I'd be willing to take on this car at 60 days old? When it ages, what's the minimum amount of profit? And a lot of guys will say, man, if I could break even at 60 days, or if I can at least make a few $100 at 60 days, that'll be good. So instead of $1,500 profit, put $500 profit on most cars. Say $500 maximum profit or minimum profit is what I'm willing to take. Lock that profit margin in, and then day one, and then right then and there, put in what you would price that car at day 60. What would it take for that car to leave? So $500 profit at 90% of the market or 88% of the market when it's 60 days old, right? So if I can make $500 at 88%, because again, at 60 days, I'd probably be at 88% to get off of it, or 90%, let the system spit out a number. So you put $500 profit at 88%, it might spit out, let's say 10.3. Lock in that 10.3. Okay. Now from there, start moving your retail exit strategy, saying, okay, day one, I'm not going to price it at 88, but I'm going to price it at 100% or 98%, and watch what happens to that profit margin. It should go from like $500 to $2,000 or $1,800. So at $500, 88%, lock that number in, then change your percentage of market, instead of 88, move it to what you would do day one. 98%, make $1,800. 2 weeks goes by, you're going to drop the price, $500 to go from 98% to 96. Now your profit goes from $1,800 down to $1,500. Still enough money? Sure. Drop it again. You're going to drop it from 96 to 93%. Now you're making $1,200, and back your way out of that car. and see if it still makes sense. So you can then go into that car knowing you can go up to 10.3 in it. Your first pencil going in at $1,200 or $1,500 profit, you might have only been at $9,800. And here I could show you, if you just look at it as instead of a hope mode, going to try to make every vehicle at $1,500 or $2,000, go into it with a retail exit strategy, what you can really retail out of it when it's age 88%, $500. Let the system kick out a number, lock that number in, and start working your trade, working that vehicle backwards. Okay. Now I was trying to make these videos short, and I'm kind of throwing this out there all over the place. If you need more information, I have no problem giving you a free demo how to work this appraisal process, because I can pull up any dealer and find a handful of deals that I would have given $300, $400, $500, $600, maybe even $1,000 more in those trades, and still been okay on a retail exit strategy, and shown them, hey, if you've done this, would you be okay with it? And they say, yeah, and I'm $500 higher. If I was the dealer down the street from your dealership, I would have gave that customer $500, $600 more and got the deal. So again, don't go into your appraisals going into hope mode with $1,500, $2,000 profit, because that's why you're ending up coming back from the lane shorthanded, or maybe not getting as many trades, forced to go to the lane. Go into it a retail exit strategy, say I'm a 60-day aging policy, so by day 50, I price at 88% to get off of it. Okay, well, when you're appraising a car, put a $500 profit. Even if you break even, the car's going to depreciate over 60 days. So that $500 profit will give you that cushion. $500 profit at 88%. Let the system kick out a trade-in number, lock that number in, and start working your way backwards. Go back to day one strategy. I'm going to be at 98% and see what that profit is. And if it's good, start backing your way out. And if everything makes sense, that's your put your hand down number. Let's say it kicks out 10.3, then pencil your deal wherever. But knowing that you'll let the customer walk if it gets above 10.3. No different than going at the lane. I'm going to put my hand down at 10.3, and I'm not bidding on the car no more. I'll let the other guy have it. So I put out a quick tip earlier today about tracking trades versus purchases. Nice to see you, Adam. Tracking trades versus purchases, but a lot of dealerships miss trades because, again, they're going in a hope mode trying to make $1,500 or $2,000 on vehicles, both at the lane and when they're appraising. I think they're missing opportunities, coming home empty-handed. And if you take this, practice this in your system. If you need some help, give me a call, 314-568-2754. Email me at jrice@lotpop.com. Direct message me here. We'll do a quick demo on how to work this process, because it will get you more trades, I guarantee you, and or maybe won't let you come home empty-handed when you're at the lane. I hope this tip was helpful. Again, give me a call or email if you need any other help, man. Thanks.